We offer you the program based on the results of the studies of the Islamic theologian Dr. Gasanov, Russia, Dagestan. For several decades, Dr. Hassan Hassanov from Dagestan has been studying the Quran, comparing the theoretical calculations and developments of scholars of academic science with the verses of the Holy Scripture. The Basis of the Universe, Nur of Allah, Part 1. He brings the living out of the dead, and He brings the dead out of the living. Surah 30, Ayah 19. The Quran tells the inquisitive and seeking mind the truth and the way of the creation of the universe. One of the attributes of the Creator is An-Nur, the light, the energy, the owner of all energy, which is the basis of the entire universe. Comparing the latest discoveries of modern theoretical physics and cosmology with the message of the Quran, we find much in common between the light, Nur of Allah, and the physical vacuum in which the germ of the future universe arose, according to reports of modern natural science. Allah indicates to us what substance is the basis of the universe. Despite the fact that in translation into Russian the Quranic concept of Nur means light, in fact it carries a more complex semantic load. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The allegory of His light is that of a pillar on which is a lamp. The lamp is within a glass. The glass is like a brilliant planet fueled by a blessed tree, an olive tree, neither eastern nor western. Its oil would almost illuminate, even if no fire has not touched it. Light upon light. Surah 24, Ayah 35. The term Nur indicates that the entire universe is the energy and informational space of Allah's Nur. The words of the Creator from His verse, light upon light, say that the basis of the whole universe are energy clots, such as photons, quarks, mesons, leptons. They can be in a double state in the form of infinitely multiple energy benches of electromagnetic waves and in the form of corpuscles, microparticles and electrons from which atoms are formed. According to the theory of primary torsion fields from the English word torsion to twist, the universe can be visualized in the form of an infinite set of small torsions, vortices, which corresponds to the Quranic words light upon light. Each of these vortices is smaller than the size of elementary particles. Physicists call them quantum vortices. According to modern scientific data, elementary particles do not represent an aggregate of other smaller material particles. That is what atheist scientists believe. For example, molecules consist of atoms, and atoms consist of nuclei with protons, neutrons, electrons, and so on. In all the phenomena observed so far, each such particle behaves as a single whole in the expression of the Quran, light upon light. Moreover, they are able to turn into each other, that is, so appear in the form of a particle or in the form of a wave. Elementary particles of the microworld have a corpuscular wave duality. In some phenomena, they show wave properties, while in other phenomena, they show corpuscular material properties. According to modern studies of natural science, the vacuum, which is the preceding physical state of the universe, is not an emptiness. Vacuum is a physical object in which the creation and destruction of virtual particles is continuously taking place. In the physical vacuum, as theoretical physicists point out, there were a constant process of birth and destruction of virtual, imaginable particles. In this physical vacuum, the initial conditions for the creation of our universe appear, or rather, are created by the Creator. Thus, it turns out that the vacuum is niche. Let us recall the Quranic message. Light is like a niche. The niche is nothing but a dynamic system that has some energy and, as the theoretical physicists believe, it is always redistributed among the so-called virtual, that is, imaginary particles. However, it is also assumed that the energy of the vacuum is the lowest energy state of the fields. The Quranic light with light in this niche is a source of energy. There appear not only virtual but also ordinary particles because of the spontaneous excitation of the physical vacuum, where there appeared a reasonable set of fundamental world's constants, which is the basis of the modern universe. According to the beliefs of the current generation of atheists, a set of fundamental constants suitable for the emergence of the universe accidentally appeared in the physical vacuum. Next, in the universe appeared and proliferated living beings, including men. What does the Lord say in this scripture? He speaks of the Nur, light of Allah, which is the light of the heavens and the earth. In the above verse, it is reported that Nur of Allah is exactly a niche in which there is a lamp. A lamp is in the glass, and the glass like a pearl star. Let us add to this verse the following verse from the Quran. He is God in the heavens and the earth. Surah 6, Ayah 3, and the verse, To God belongs the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth, and what lies in them, and He has power over everything. Surah 5, Ayah 120. It follows that Allah creates and controls everything. There is nothing beyond Him. Fundamentals of the Universe. Creation from Nowhere, Part 2. The verses of the Quran describe the complex process in the universe in an amazingly coded language, where the inexhaustible energy is described by the word niche, which is constantly maintained by the will of the Creator in the information energy field. All this develops and moves in a certain direction with a preset program. The design of the Almighty, the All-Knowing. Surah 41, Ayah 12. The inexhaustible energy of the Lord is the foundation of the entire universe and the source of the evolutionary development of the whole creation. The truth of the verse of the Quran, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, confirms the first and second laws of thermodynamics. The first law of the thermodynamics concerns the law of conservation of energy. According to this law, energy cannot be created or destroyed in the system, in this case in the entire universe. Systems that use energy simply transform it into other forms of energy, for example, heat, motion, sound, light, or chemical and electromagnetic energy. According to the law, the amount of energy inside a system remains constant if external forces do not interfere. The only way to increase the amount of energy in the system using it is to apply an external force, that is, adding kinetic energy. Similarly, the energy level in the system is lowered only when the heat, light, or other form of energy is transferred outside the system. This means that in a closed system, not affected by external forces and not exchanging energy, the total number of all kinds of energy is always constant. In our opinion, the universe is a closed system that includes all existing energy and matter as a form of the same energy. There is no natural energy outside the universe that could be added to it for its evolutionary development, except from the Lord's Nur energy, according to the ayah of the Quran considered by us, and there is no place outside the universe where energy could go. But where did the matter and energy of the universe originated from, if the universe itself is a closed system? According to the Quran, its source must be Nur, light energy of Allah. In accordance with the scientific hypothesis put forward by the well-known scientist Fruit Hoyle and his Cambridge colleagues, spontaneous birth of matter takes place in outer space. In the opinion of these scientists, spontaneous hydrogen atoms are created spontaneously in special corners of the universe, and the creation of particles occurs in such quantity and at such a rate that the amount of newly apparent matter is exactly equal to the amount of matter that has dissipated during the expansion of the universe. This corresponds to the way the neurohumoral, neuroendocrine system created by the Lord regulates the quantity and quality of all components of the body and the organism of animals as it grows and develops. For example, replenishment of blood cells destroyed or lost and bleeding in the blood-forming tissues of the bone marrow. The same happens in the whole universe as in a single whole organism. Lord that created a regulatory system, tracking and regulating system controlled only by Him. It becomes clear how the origin of the universe occurs if turns to the Quran and clarify the concepts and hidden meanings in them. Say, shall I take for myself a protector other than God, originator of the heavens and the earth, and He feeds and He is not fed? Surah 6, Ayah 14. In the verse, the synonym of the word creator is used in Arabic, al-fatir, the meaning of which can be translated as who He inflates from a super hot, super dense embryo. When Hoyle was asked, where does the new substance in space come from? He replied, it is taken from nowhere. The substance just appears, it is created. The initial state that gave rise to the inflationary universe is the physical gravitational vacuum. The scientists suggest that the sharp changes accompanying the process of an extremely rapid, exponential, cosmological and even somewhere fantastic expansion of space originated from a single vacuum bubble of less than 10⁻35th power centimeters and had a mass of 100,000 of a gram. Now the weight of the universe is 10⁵ power of tons. Think, what can be the basis of the substance and what power is needed for such a push and evolutionary development for a given program? As for the process of accelerated expansion, because of which the initial embryo of the universe swelled to the present dimensions of the metagalaxy, 10⁻28 centimeters, it lasted just over 10⁻32 seconds. We constructed the universe with power, and we are expanding it. Surah 51, Ayah 47. According to the second law of thermodynamics, described by Thomson and Clausius in 1850, and is of great importance for the evolution of the whole universe, all types of energy are gradually transferred to a thermal energy, heat. This energy will be evenly distributed throughout the universe, after which all motions will cease, and the universe will solidify. This condition is called the thermal death of the universe. But in reality, this doesn't not happen, because, as we understood, Nur, the light of Allah, is a source regulating and providing energy for evolutionary development according to the given program. It is An-Nur, the light. Each running for a specified period. Surah 13, Ayah 2. The second law of thermodynamics also indicates that heat is never transferred from a colder body to a hotter one. Heat is always transmitted in one direction, and this process is irreversible. Modern science says that the cosmological initial conditions were singular, that is, they had a geometric essence of zero size. It means that before the beginning of the lightning expansion of the universe, it was the size of just a dot. The founder of the idea of the expanding universe, the Soviet scientist Friedman, spoke of the existence of the beginning of cosmological evolution and the inevitability of its end. In doing so, he uses expressions cutting the hearing of many materialists, like creation out of nothing and the universe shrinks into a point, nothing. Moreover, this proto-matter, although called a vacuum, certainly is not nothing. It represents Nur of Allah, the building material of all that exists, which in its essence is supermaterial and is pure energy. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The allegory of his light is that of a pillar on which is a lamp. The lamp is within a glass. The glass is like a brilliant planet fueled by a blessed tree, an olive tree, neither eastern nor western. Its oil would almost illuminate, even if no fire has not touched it. Light upon light. Surah 24, Ayah 35. This video is based on the books of Dr. Gasanov, the Quran and the achievements of modern natural science, and the continuity of the scriptures, modern view,